At its absolute peak, the Roman Empire stretched from Britain all the way to the Persian Gulf. But massive states are rarely destroyed by outside invaders. Instead, relentless internal pressure causes them to crack and shatter. To understand that internal pressure, we have to look at how the city began. Legend dates the founding to 753 BCE, starting with twin orphans, Romulus and Remus, who were supposedly rescued and nursed by a female wolf. When they reached adulthood, the brothers fought a bitter rivalry over who would name the city they planned to build. The argument ended when Romulus murdered his brother, claiming the territory for himself. This founding myth established a recurring pattern in Roman leadership. The same aggressive competition that drove their outward expansion meant that in Roman politics, the path to power required the removal of one's closest rivals. In its early centuries, that ambition transformed Rome into a fierce, expansive republic. By 63 BCE, their military had successfully subdued fiercely independent regions, bringing Greece to its knees and capturing Jerusalem. The ultimate test of their military machine came during the Gallic Wars. In 52 BCE, General Julius Caesar trapped the Celtic leader Vercingetorix inside the fortified town of Alesia, building a brilliant double wall to starve the defenders and crush their reinforcements. General Caesar's total, unprecedented victory brought immense wealth and massive public popularity. The Roman Senate, fearing he was becoming too powerful to control, ordered him to resign his command and immediately disband his troops. Instead, Caesar committed ultimate treason by marching his standing army across the Rubicon River, plunging the Republic into civil war. After Caesar declared himself dictator for life and was subsequently assassinated, the system broke down entirely. His 18-year-old heir, Octavian, eventually crushed all remaining rivals to become Augustus, the absolute first Roman emperor. The Republic had become too successful for its own good. By generating massive wealth and empowering ambitious generals, the democratic system created strongmen it couldn't control, forcing citizens to trade their voting rights for the stability of a supreme ruler. Even as the empire reached its absolute geographic peak under Emperor Trajan, deep cultural divisions were tearing at the fabric of society. The rapid spread of Christianity directly challenged the state-mandated Roman polytheism. This chart illustrates the purchasing power of the Roman denarius plummeting. Following a massive fire in 64 AD, Emperor Nero attempted to pay for the city's repairs by printing more currency, triggering a massive inflation crisis. That economic instability compounded the religious tensions. The resulting unrest sparked severe provincial uprisings, most notably a massive Jewish revolt that ended when Roman forces breached the heavy walls of Jerusalem in 70 AD, slaughtering the population. To stop the bleeding, later leaders tried to physically lock the borders in place. Emperor Hadrian ordered the construction of massive stone fortifications, like this wall in Britain, to separate Roman territory from the rebellious forces outside. But stocking stones and applying brutal military force were disparate measures. They could slow the incursions from outside, but they couldn't fix the underlying economic decay and cultural fracturing happening within the walls. This diagram shows how Emperor Diocletian attempted to solve the crisis. Realizing the territory was too massive for one person to govern, he instituted the Tetrarchy, dividing the region into 4 separate administrative zones. The division immediately sparked a new wave of civil wars. Order was only restored when Constantine the Great conquered his rivals, accepted Christianity, and physically moved the capital away from Rome to his newly named city, Constantinople. The final break happened in 395 AD. Emperor Theodosius permanently split the territory between his 2 sons, officially severing the wealthy eastern provinces from the west, leaving the Italian peninsula structurally isolated and severely weakened. Without the economic support of the East, the Western Roman Empire was defenseless against foreign incursions. Successive waves of Visigoths and Huns relentlessly ravaged the territory until a Germanic general finally deposed the last Western emperor in 476 AD. To save the Roman administration, the emperors effectively sacrificed the city of Rome. With borders stretching from the Atlantic to the Euphrates, the administrative strain of governing the entire Mediterranean from a single center became too great to sustain. The fall of the West often overshadows a crucial historical fact. The Roman state did not end in the 5th century. It survived in the East as the Byzantine Empire, maintaining its power for another 1,000 years. Under leaders like Justinian I, the Byzantines codified Roman law and built engineering marvels, perfectly illustrated by the massive interior dome of the Hagia Sophia, which showcased the incredible height of Eastern Roman architecture. Yet this surviving half faced its own agonizing decline. In the 7th century, Arab forces captured crucial economic provinces like Egypt and Syria, severely crippling Byzantine trade and initiating centuries of draining political instability. In 1453, Sultan Mehmed II's massive Ottoman army besieged Constantinople, officially erasing the political lineage of Caesar. Moving the capital east bought the Roman system centuries of extra life, but eventually, even the most heavily fortified walls will yield to the combined pressure of time and new rising powers. The rise and fall of Rome highlights a recurring challenge for massive states. When the costs of border defense began to outpace the wealth those borders generated, the empire's sheer size became its primary weakness. But while the physical borders dissolved, the ideas they contained proved incredibly resilient. The state that originally persecuted Christians eventually became the vehicle that spread the religion across the globe. Beyond religion, the legal frameworks codified by Justinian and the aggressive standards of civic engineering they pioneered continue to serve as the structural baseline for modern European law and city planning. The physical borders of the empire eventually buckled under their own impossible weight. However, the legal and cultural frameworks forged in those broken pieces continue to shape our modern society today.